All I can tell you is tossing a salad has something to do with jelly and prisoners. That's all I know. But what's snowballing?
From Bad Monkey Studios in beautiful Amish country, heard throughout these fabulous United States and around the globe on the World Wide Web, this is the B Team with Cory and Jim.
All right.
We are the Christian Broadcast Network. This is the B Team with Cory and Jim. Cory is not with us today. The gentleman you are listening to spew the filth forward.
So the microphone's on now. Okay.
The comedian known as Bill G is in the house with me today.
Hey, Jim.
As a guest spot.
Good having you. Yeah.
Guest host, rather.
Good having me.
It's always, I've not had you. But, Bill's here. Cory is off. On my notes say Cory is off again.
Is he?
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, it is nice to, this is my third time here, and I'm sitting in a chair. We don't have sandbags. And I'm talking into the golden microphone. Yeah. But what's this about, man?
If he finds out you were using his microphone, he might get a little twisty. But
because he's been, I don't know. I don't want to step out of bounds here, but he's been a little off lately, man.
What?
Haven't you, side glances, hey, how you doing, Cory? Usually it's, hey, man,
he's super friendly.
Head down now, a lot of side glances. Had my birthday recently, and he gave me a nice gift, and it was a big box of swag from Sirius XM. So I don't know. I don't know where to take it from there, but. No big surprise, but the T-shirt didn't fit. But something's up.
So you're thinking he's jumping ship and
could be
gonna join the Sirius boys?
Yeah, could
man.
be.
I don't know. He hasn't said anything to me like that, but I guess he wouldn't, would he?
He might enjoy heat, air conditioning, and I don't think they have chickens in the window staring at you there.
A coffee pot that worked, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, we're missing Cory today. He had some family things to take care of, so he's MIA for today. And as I said, Bill G's our guest host, and could not be happier to have him.
Thanks, man.
He had a birthday recently.
I did. I just wanted to say thanks to everybody, by the way, for all the birthday wishes and all that. That's very nice of everyone. Appreciate it very much, man.
You're having birthdays, and celebrities are falling like flies.
Oh, my goodness.
What in the world?
Yeah, they are.
Just today.
Yeah, today.
Well, what yesterday was China, the wrestling.
That was yesterday?
Girl.
Yeah, China. China and today Prince, man.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, really is. And just it's another one of those strange deals. There was a incident, I guess, last Friday where Prince's private plane was flying from Georgia back to Minnesota, and they had to divert because of an emergency situation with Prince. But no details have come out. All they have said is that he had flu symptoms. And there was another report that came out that said that there was someone who had reported to TMZ that he was seen in a Walgreens at 7 p.m. Last night. And then today he passed away. So just have to wait and see, man. And I don't want to overshadow China like everyone else has. You can Google her past and this and that and say what you want to, but I actually had a chance to meet with her one time, and she's a very nice person, seemed like a good-hearted person.
Well, you don't get in that kind of the condition, the physical condition she was in,
Right.
And to have a travel schedule and that sort of thing without having your head together.
Exactly.
I mean, the things she was doing in the ring, around the ring, that was all an act.
Sure.
You know, she was a real person, a smart person. You know.
I know that a lot of people, you know, they say she looked like a man. She had manly features and this and that. But when I saw her, I just remember her eyes. She had like really glistening, clear eyes, and just you know, just she was. I thought she was really pretty,
Just
healthy, just very healthy. Just
Yeah.
take care of herself the way she should, you know.
Yeah.
And but I just didn't want to overshadow her too much. She was actually my age, the age that I am right now.
Wow.
But yeah, it's really too bad, man. We lost a lot of people here recently.
Oh man, they have. I heard somebody today quote it, and I'm probably wrong, but since this year, since January, like 36 celebrities.
36.
I mean, I heard that. I mean, like within the last hour, I heard that from somebody.
Oh my goodness, I didn't know it was that high. I knew there had been quite a few.
I don't know that for a fact, but I mean,
Wow.
It sure seems like every week or every few days we're hearing about something.
And Doris Roberts,
Somebody, yes.
Yeah,
Oh
she-
my gosh,
90 years old, but
Was she wreck her Harley?
yeah,
Yeah,
sure did.
that's too
Fat
bad.
boy into a curb.
Yeah,
But
it's those little stones.
yeah, and everybody knows her from Everybody Loves Raymond, but
Oh my gosh!
I watched
in every Christmas movie ever made.
Yeah.
She's always Grandma.
Oh,
in the
that's
Christmas
right. She
movie.
was in Christmas
She's in
Vacation.
all of
That's
them.
right. Yeah.
She's in every one of them.
But I know her from Grandma's Boy, the movie Grandma's
Oh,
Boy.
yeah.
It's got a pretty big cult following, and
One of Cory's favorites.
yeah, Alan
Yeah.
Covert, he's fantastic. I always thought he would be in more leading roles, but
Yeah.
wasn't. But I liked her in that. She played his grandma, but anyway, yeah, just really something else, man.
And I'll tell you, I was never a huge Prince fan
Yeah,
until, and well, no, not until. I can't say that I'm even a huge fan today,
right.
but my eyes were open to his talents when he one time he did a interview, and I don't know if it was a David Letterman type interview or who it was with, but he got on stage, just him and his guitar, just him and an acoustic guitar, and he sang a song. And I didn't know he had that kind of talent. I thought he was just one of those electronic, simulated drums and music. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I thought he was one of those guys.
Kind of
and
played
just
with the
did
feedback and all that. Yeah.
all that. But yeah, it was just him and a guitar.
That I didn't.
Wow.
That I didn't know, and I'd
blew
be
me
interested in
away.
looking at that. Yeah.
Blew me away. Yeah,
Wow.
I was like, wow, he really is a talent. And then his stance on the, all things gadgetry, and he wasn't a Twitter guy, wasn't a Facebook guy, was not even a presence on the computer really, other than people writing stories about him.
He was a Jehovah's Witness, I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
I think that's what I heard, and someone was speculating that with everything that happened to him, if it was something where he would have required blood, like in a surgery or something like that, he would have declined it.
Oh,
But everything is speculation right now. But
of course.
I don't know because I never saw the movie, the Purple Rain or anything like that. I don't know if I've really ever heard the guy speak at length or anything.
Yeah, the only scene from Purple Rain I can remember is when he's in a fight, he's in an argument with his dad, and his dad kind of gives him a little push.
Yeah.
And he's just as flamboyant as you can imagine. I mean, he's got he's just dressed.
Sure, yeah. Like the way that they used to say Stevie Ray dressed everywhere he went with the hat and the feather.
The feather boa and
Yeah.
all that stuff, yeah. But he was just, please don't compare Stevie Ray to Prince.
I was
Prince
waiting to run, man.
Prince was, when his dad pushed him. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious.
was
That's the
funny.
only thing I remember Like I said, I wasn't a fan.
He was
so.
5'2" and just kind of a slight little guy, man. But yeah,
He could ball.
he could ball.
If Cory was here, he'd tell you the story.
Charlie Murphy.
Yeah,
Cory's
favorite story. He can't. When Cory tries to tell the story, he has to stop because he can't breathe.
Yeah,
it's like his favorite story.
And for anybody that doesn't know, Charlie Murphy, he's the brother of Eddie Murphy, and he told a famous story on the Chappelle show one time. So look it up. We don't need to go into detail about it, but it's pretty hilarious.
He
and
apparently has some skill playing basketball.
I have every reason to believe that it was completely true.
Well, speaking of dying, careers dying,
mm-hmm.
that my mind goes to Johnny Football.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, Johnny Manziel.
Or Billy. Billy, as he tried to pull himself off.
Billy
Manziel.
What you just? I think everybody in the world would have loved to have seen those pictures.
Unbelievable.
Yeah,
unbelievable. Him on the swan. Have you seen that one?
I haven't.
He's laid out on this swan in like a swimming pool thing. This rubber swan. He's drinking a bottle of champagne. There's a guy in a suit, 3-piece suit, standing behind him, holding on to the back of this this rubber swan to make sure Johnny doesn't get lost or hurt or anything.
Well,
so what's up with him, man? What is going on there?
Well, I'll tell you I knew there was a real issue when his dad came out and said, "I'm concerned. I'm concerned for my son's life, and the way that he's acting. He needs to stop this and." Get himself together, he said, because I'm really afraid of losing my son. Mm-hmm. But then, when I found out his second agent, which was his first agent, Eric Burkhart, he quit being Johnny Manziel's manager and representation back on February the 16th. And then here just a couple days ago, the super agent, Drew Rosenhaus, quit, gave up on him.
Yeah.
And when that happened, that's when I pretty much said that's probably the end of Johnny Manziel. I figured somebody, because Jerry Jones, his name always came up, the owner of the Cowboys. Yeah. I guess he couldn't stop talking about Manziel. He was a member of the Cleveland Browns, and on Jerry Jones' weekly program that he had, he couldn't stop bringing up Manziel. Yeah. So I
keep hearing people say, now, what's next for Johnny Manziel? Mm-hmm. He's going to go to the Cowboys and win 3 Super Bowls.
Yeah, quite possible with Ezekiel Elliott behind him.
But I don't know. I mean, here's this kid, 23 years old, just money. He's always been surrounded by yes men and people who told him he was awesome, he was the greatest.
He came from money. He came from oil money. And the question you have to ask is, how much does Johnny Manziel need in the NFL? Does he? I don't think so. I think if you come from that, from what I've heard, Dad could probably give him, a very high-paying no-show job, Yeah. And then the other question is, does the NFL need him? And I don't know the answer to that, because I'm one of these people that like the idea of thinking outside the box, and the NFL is full of parity. It's a cookie-cutter league. And because you have one guy who will come along and he'll be an assistant somewhere. He'll get fired, go somewhere else, push the program from his last team onto the next team that he works for. And that goes on and on and on until you have a cookie cutter. And that's what we have right now, and that's the type of player Manziel is. He's not an in-the-box pro-style quarterback. Just about every play you ever saw him in was a broken play where he would be running wild, and he won a Heisman Trophy off of it, but that's college. He came up here to the NFL and learned real quick. He's not going to be outrunning these guys, not like in college. And with his stature and with his ability, he doesn't have the strongest arm in the world. He's got a moderate middle-range arm, but it may not be an NFL fit, and those who are in the know say that he's not an NFL quarterback. No. I would have to guess, if I had to, push the chips in the middle of the table, I'd say he's done.
Really?
Yeah, I'd say he's finished.
Well, and what people don't realize how much money there is.
Right.
In the NFL. I mean, I don't have the stats in front of me to say it's like a $20 billion industry or whatever. I mean, but it's huge. It's absolutely huge. And on May 8th, 2014, Johnny was drafted 22nd overall by the Browns. Mm-hmm. He was the 2012 Heisman Trophy winner. He was projected as high as the first overall pick, but concerns about his size and partying caused his stock to fall a little bit. He was the last player remaining in the draft's green room when he was picked. Now, the Browns and the NFL, they had concerns right there. Starting on May 8th, they had concerns about his partying. So they surrounded him with the highest paid motivational people that there are out there.
Yeah.
And look at where it's gone, in 2 years, where it's gone. All these people now are like, we just can't get through to him.
But you found the general manager at the time of the Cleveland Browns. I would even throw the owner in there. They had to put butts in the seats. And instead of doing it what I believe is the right way, which is to build a foundation, they went for the high flyer. They went for the guy that's going to get out there. He's going to put the butts in the seats, man. And that's exactly what they did. His jersey, it was one of the league's highest selling jerseys of all time. And that's going to, that gains interest of anyone who has stock in the NFL, money-wise, owners, GMs, anyone in the front offices. That's what keeps his name in the news.
And Johnny, well, maybe not Johnny, but his people aren't idiots either, because on September 4th of 2014, not long after he was drafted and started with the Browns, he filed for a trademark for Johnny Cleveland. He trademarked Johnny Cleveland. It was the 10th trademark he filed.
Oh.
Other trademarks he filed included JFF.
Okay.
I'm going to assume Johnny F in football, I'm going to guess, is what that meant. And the house that Johnny built.
Oh, brother.
Yep, he had that trademarked. It was a reference for the new stadium of the from Texas A&M that they were building at the time. Then he wanted it trademarked as the house that Johnny built.
Okay, but this goes back to the same question. Trademarking for, is this ego? Right. Or is this because he wants it trademarked because he wants every dime?
But again, he's surrounded by people. Would he have thought of that? Or was one of his goofy buddies, who were probably attorneys themselves, say, "Oh, dude, you ought to trademark that"? I don't know. When I was telling you about him floating on the Swan in Austin, Texas, that was June 6th. That was the month after he was drafted by the Browns.
And then here on the 27th is the quote of quotes: "I'm not going to change for anybody."
Yeah. And I think that's been his mantra through the whole thing.
Right.
Every day.
Because, he's forced into that rehab that he went through last year. What was it, from January up until April? He was in rehab.
Yeah.
And that wasn't him. That wasn't him. It was just he was appeasing the front office and season ticket holders and all that, people who were concerned. But he's just the craziness, the flat out craziness, and now it's a concern.
Well, it's craziness and it's money, okay? But as I was getting ready to say, less than a month after he was drafted by the Browns, he was drafted 28th in the 28th round by the Major League Baseball team, San Diego Padres. That didn't come out right. I apologize.
No,
he was drafted in the 28th round of the Major League Baseball draft by the San Diego Padres.
That's not an unusual thing, though, for a quarterback if you look at the history of quarterbacks. I mean, John Elway was drafted by the New York Yankees, and goes on and on and on.
But, I mean, there is talent there, clearly, right?
There's an arm, there's a talent, there's accuracy, because it's an unusual arm to make it as a quarterback, into D1 program. But, there's something there. But I don't believe this is a guy that's going to get it together and harness it when he needs to. I really don't. And now he has this thing looming over him where he could be indicted as soon as this coming Monday, just a few days away, on it's either domestic violence or violence against a woman, assault charges. Yeah. Which this is the first time that's come up. That came up when he was living here in Cleveland.
Right.
But a lot hanging over his head, a lot going on, and just like you said before, reverting back to it, I think it's just an instance where he's never heard the word no, and he believes that whatever he does, he'll be able to just brush it under the table, and that'll be it. I remember all the way back, even before he was drafted, he was supposed to go as a guest to the Manning QB camp that Peyton and Eli put on every year. And he decided to not show. He did a no-show. And this is Peyton Manning, man. Yeah. And I'm not going to, and Eli, 2-time Super Bowl champ. And he had to come out and apologize to them. And everybody knows why he didn't show, right?
Yeah.
Probably a little bit of a hangover, but that's me saying that.
Yeah. On December 14th of 2014, Manziel made his first NL start against Cincinnati Bengals. He threw 2 interceptions, and the Browns lost 30-0. So
that can be expected. That's first time he's going out there against real NFL professional defenders, and these passes that were like laser beams in college are now floaters, and they're getting under them and running them back the other way. So that's nothing to, it's not something that's unusual.
He entered rehab in January of 2015 and was out in April.
Right. Hey, I was on.
He said, and the Browns owner Jimmy Haslam, and while Johnny was in rehab, Jimmy said that he was absolutely going to be the team's starting quarterback.
Yeah. Okay. So, they had their mind set. So, and he was, I believe, Haslam was thinking about, like I said, putting the people in the seats and appeasing them, putting the gunslinger out there. And you also had a GM at the time that was in his ear, probably telling him the same thing. And that's where the whole text gate thing came up, where the GM was texting from his box down to the head coach, telling him who the quarterback was going to be and who to put in and this and that. So that's when all that was going on.
The thing that amazed me through his high school, college, and pro career is he always managed to escape discipline from whether it was the cops or whether it was the front office or whatever. He seemed to escape that. I mean, sure, you got Nike pulling out, saying, we're not going to attach ourselves to this guy anymore. They pulled out in 2015.
But it could, that could only go so far because, just before he was released by the Browns, you had 2 instances in a row where he had run-ins with the police. And so it was starting to stack up on him and catching up to him. But, you're right. I mean, he was Teflon, and he was escaping everything. And that, that just supported everything that he believed, which was, it's all right, I'm Johnny Manziel. I want to get out of it. It's just, would you – and you go, like I said, ego or money or both, whatever – you're a freshman, and you win the Heisman Trophy. He obviously has to love that college life. Has to. He's got everything he wants. He's the king of the campus.
Yeah.
And he does one more year, doesn't win the Heisman Trophy, comes in number 5 in the voting, but decides to pull and go to the NFL. if he loves that life so much, which I think, I don't know. Do you just stay on campus, man?
Right.
You just stay on campus another year and enjoy it, or pull out, go to the NFL, and hang around Jay-Z and Beyonce? Yeah. What do you do?
Yeah. Well, I remember watching the game January 3rd of this year. You and I were watching it together because I had to ask you, and I'm not a huge football fan anyway, but I remember I had to ask you, Bill, doesn't Manziel still play for the Browns? Because what I remember about that game the most is nobody talked about him, not even the guys in the booth. Mm-hmm. Nobody talked about Johnny that day during the game. The coaches, nobody asked the coaches about Johnny, nothing. Mm-hmm. So that's how far-reaching I think it is that people are, willing to protect this guy.
Willing to protect him, or there are verbal writers where the owner will, during the press meetings before the games, like the day before the game or whatever, they'll ask, hey, the owner will say this, hey, don't show me sitting in the booth. I don't want the cameras seeing me in the booth. Maybe there's a verbal writer where they said, hey, let's kind of lay off the Manziel thing right now. We're going with Josh McCown, and he's our starter, and that's where we want to leave it. Okay, right. You can talk about Manziel all you want after this game or after the broadcast or whatever, but for today, it's about the Browns and the team and our starter, and we're trying to get this guy going, so it could very well be that.
I understand that. But he was spotted the night before that game partying in Las Vegas, and that was the final game of the season. That January 3rd game was the final game of the season. Earlier in the week, he reported he was suffering from a concussion or concussion-like symptoms, and later a report said that he showed up disheveled and inebriated to practice that week. The week before that game.
which I completely I believe that, and it's just something you don't do. I mean,
right. Because of the reported concussion, Manziel was not scheduled to play in Sunday's game, but he was required to report to the team's facility for mandated concussion protocol. He did not.
There you go, and that's enough. I mean, disciplinary action by Cleveland and the NFL, and because they have procedures they have to stick with, man, and they don't want if they don't follow the protocol, that's opening up the team and the NFL. And that they're not going to do that. Right. And this is just, man. I just want to throw out that word spoiled. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he is. But there's no doubt about it.
Anyway, Manziel.
All right. Well, we're late for a break. We're going to take a break, and we will be right back. This is the B Team with Cory and Jim.
911. What is your emergency?
My name is Stephen. Can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in some type of basement or something. There's microphones everywhere. There's computers and cases of Pepsi Max stacked up along the walls. I don't know how I got here. My car broke down out in the country, and I just... Oh no, I hear someone.
Sir? Sir? Hello there, sir?
Hi, this is Emma Woods. Check out my book Beast and Savages and listen to the B Team with Cory and Jim.
Hey B-Teamers, this is Jim, letting you know that our quality, all-cotton, pre-shrunk tagless tee is now available in our store. From the beach to the boardroom, nothing says, hey, look at me, I'm adequate, like a B-Team with Cory and Jim t-shirt. So go to point19productions.com and get you some. This segment is brought to you by Stuffed with Love Taxidermy. No pet too small. Give us a call. Ask about our goldfish and turtle discount. That's Stuffed with Love Taxidermy. Check out our website, fluffyforever.com. And we're back. This is the B Team with Cory and Jim, and our guest host today is Bill G., comedian and all-around fun guy to hang out with. We just finished talking about Johnny Manziel, and all of his troubles.
Oh, brother.
Maybe more than you wanted to hear. This isn't a sports show. It's a chuckle show, as Cory likes to call it.
Yeah, so you folks in England can wake up now. I think we're about to switch. We had you've got 2.5 pages full.
Yeah.
In the smallest font you could find, but we just got to a few things. This guy's an effing mess, man.
No, that's right. Yeah, I did. I printed up. I do literally have like a 4-page thing that runs down like date by date from 2014
it's
of
superior.
the stuff he got into. So he's had enough of our time.
Yeah, but he's a mess, and I don't know him from Adam, but I truly, man, I do hope the best for him. I hope he cleans it up and gets himself together just as a human being. So enough of that.
We are going to take a look at some emails now. As usual, I pull out my 3 favorite emails of the week and read those out loud. So if you would like to hear your email read, go to point19productions@gmail.com. Send us an email. Tell us how much you love us, hate us. We will read the hateful ones if you send us those. Mm-hmm. We like them. Patchco383. Now you'll know why I picked this one, Bill.
Okay.
Patchco383 says, love the show. The next time Bill G is on, ask him if he remembers Randall from British Columbia. We are cigar buddies.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, is that like fisting?
Very good. No. Very, very cool, man. Randall. Yeah. Thanks for writing, man. I do know him. You called him Big Tex. He gigantic dude. He's Cantonese. And he's wearing this awesome suit, man. Great suit. And he's got this big brown Tony Lama felt cowboy hat. One of those expensive hats, man. And you know me, I'm 6'7", and
sure.
I'm looking up at this dude. And
what?
He's
Cantonese?
Yeah. And
from Canton? Ohio?
The other Canton across the pond. But gigantic human being, but just so friendly, man. A smile from ear to ear. And I know a couple Randalls, but
good kisser.
This is the guy that gets spectacular lips, good suction, just enough tongue. Yep,
a little toothy, but Randall will work on that.
Thanks, Randall. That's cool, man. Thanks.
Now, seriously, what's the cigar buddies thing mean?
It's just just like to share my cigars.
You enjoy the cigar, don't you?
I do. Yeah, I'm a brand ambassador for Gurkha.
Ah.
So I like to pass out some samples every now and then. And
ambassador, I should have had a red carpet and the high school band out here playing.
But yeah, I shared some with him, and whenever I get a chance to go hang out somewhere, I'll usually share a cigar or whatever, and some stories, hang around some good people, and that's what that's about.
Nice. So there you go.
Yeah,
Randall.
Thanks, man. Thanks, Tex.
Do you have any idea where that name comes from?
Patchco?
Yeah,
I do not.
I thought that might be somewhere he worked or something.
No.
I don't know. All right, El Norte 5150 says, I have a chupacabra living under the shed at my house. Mm-hmm. Can you guys get him out? He hates corn.
He hates corn.
Yeah.
Can we get him out? Well,
what do you bait a chupacabra with?
The North. Since chupacabra means goat sucker, I would imagine you use a goat or some goat's milk. You put that out and bait them. You don't want to have anything to do with them, though. I'm telling you, just leave it alone. But that's how you get it out from wherever you want it. Or you go to fishing store or something like that, get some catfish bait, and put that out. That'll get them.
Catfish bait?
Yeah. So
now, I know you've already said it's called goat sucker. Cory would be yelling at me by now.
Right.
And punching me in the neck.
Mm-hmm.
But chupacabra, I don't believe in any of this horse shit. You know that.
Right.
Right. But this thing, he is absolutely convinced that this thing and the Squatch
Well, as I sit here, I'm going to tell you, it does exist. It's not this crazy looking lizard thing. It is. They actually believe what it is some offshoot, some type of fox, with either mange or it's a hybrid or something like that. But I've seen. I haven't seen it personally. I've seen it on television, online, and it was the real deal. I saw there was one alive, and they are gray in color. They have either hair or very fine hair, and they have these real intense blue eyes. And their necks are longer than the normal-looking dog or coyote, and they have one of those skinny-looking freaky tails.
Dude, you know you're going to give me nightmares, man. Are you serious? So
I am serious.
It's like the size of a fox.
It's the size of a fox or a coyote, but I am serious. There are people like down in Texas and New Mexico that have seen them on the ranch. They've been filmed. They're not fake. They're the real thing. But it's not like, some mystical thing. It really is a messed up animal or some type of hybrid.
A retarded fox or something? There's something wrong with it, or there's R-jar. Sorry.
R-jar, and I'll say yes. To answer your question to the affirmative. But yes, dude, don't put a goat out there, but I'm just saying a goat will lure it out. Some goat milk, chickens. Ooh, chickens. Yeah, sorry, man.
Too soon.
And cows. Put a cow out at a distance, but I'm telling you, don't bring harm to any other animal, but that's what's going to get it out, or some catfish bait.
Okay. Well, there you go. You've heard it from Bill G, expert.
I'm not going to steer you wrong, man.
No, you haven't been to TTT Tech, but you
as
did
far as you know, I haven't.
Yeah. Our third and final email from Lego Maniacist.
Lego Maniacist, right?
Lego Maniacist. That's it.
Okay.
I listened to your show one time and thought you guys were a little rough on bronies. You act like they're criminals, and they're not. You are racist.
What's a brony?
Now, brony, if you didn't listen to last week's show.
I haven't gotten to it yet, sorry.
A brony is, you were on the road?
Yes, I was. I was with Tex.
A brony is a grown man, an adult male. Average age, I believe we determined, was like 27 or something to that effect. Mm-hmm. That is a true fan of the My Little Pony series. Yeah,
really?
Yes, it's no joke. That's
I believe
it. And
you.
they have a huge presence online. And I was telling Cory during the show, it's really hard to find anything negative about them, even though they're all pedophiles. Or soon to be pedophiles.
Oh, goodness.
Come on. You're a grown man.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, I'm there with you.
You're a 600-pound white guy in the basement watching My Little Pony or
where's the racist thing come in? Why are you being called a racist?
I don't know. I guess if you don't like bronies, you're a racist.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, these guys, and they like little kids show, and they get on all these, it's just a conduit to get onto these websites to make contact with these little kids who are into My Little Pony. It's gross. I don't care what it is. It's stupid. If you do it, you're wrong.
Yeah.
And it's stupid. It's just your wiring is jacked.
I'm going to take a stance, okay? I'm completely against bronies.
Okay.
And everything they stand for.
Now, Bill didn't know what a brony was less than 70 seconds ago, he's making a stance.
Yep.
Here we go.
So I'm completely against it, okay? Don't want to hear about it anymore. Don't say brony, okay?
No.
As far as you are racist, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Because no, we're not.
Yeah. And what is this guy's name?
Lego Maniacist.
Yeah. Probably an adult.
Yeah, that plays with Legos.
With the Legos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And 2112
only the boy
something.
ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
2112. Yeah. Oh, isn't that the Mayan calendar thing where
that's right.
We were supposed to all die and sometime?
All the races were supposed to die.
So that's it. We're going to close the mailbag. If you
cool mailbag this week.
If you want to send an email to us, just send that out to point19productions@gmail.com. Let us know about your wants, needs, concerns, loves, hates, all that stuff. Got a news story for you.
Okay.
If you want to hear about it.
I do.
This one was pretty good. I thought this is a true story.
All right.
Grant Hackett, a 3-time, and I apologize if it sounds like I'm reading because I am. Grant Hackett, a 3-time Olympic gold medalist swimmer from Australia, allegedly groped the chest of a male passenger and tweaked his nipple during a fight.
Oh, that's
Yep.
son of a bitch.
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
boy.
Sunday's incident happened in business class on a Virgin Australia flight from Adelaide to Melbourne. The passenger told the Herald Sun that Hackett reacted after he had reclined his seat too far for Hackett's liking.
Okay.
He said Hackett grabbed his chair and shoved it forward. Quote, then he put his hand through and groped my chest and tweaked my nipple quite forcefully, the passenger said. The freestyle great was said to have stroked the victim's arm and said, quote, it's okay, it's all right, end quote. But the victim, a real estate executive traveling with his partner to a family reunion, said he felt unsafe and violated.
Of course he did.
While not addressing any specific accusations, Hackett did issue a statement apologizing for his behavior. His statement says, I seriously and genuinely regret my poor behavior. I have stuffed up more... I'm so sorry. I have stuffed up more than once, and I'm working on these issues. It is embarrassing to hear and read the consequences of my actions. I apologize unreservedly to the gentleman on the flight. I am trying to make direct contact with him personally. Well,
no.
Mr. Hackett, you already have.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hackett, described as drunk by a colleague on the flight, did eventually reach the passenger and said he was sorry. Yahoo noted that the victim, identified as Martin Slobodnik, had accepted the athlete's apology and would not press charges. However, Slobodnik said, I still feel violated. Hackett, who won gold in the 1,500-meter freestyle in 2000 and 2004, has battled prescription pill addiction. He was being helped off the plane in a wheelchair.
Oh, brother.
Okay? Not the victim.
No.
The guy doing the nipple tweaking had to be helped off the airplane in a wheelchair. A world-class athlete, a gold medal athlete, was so drunk he had to be helped off an airplane in a wheelchair. So that is that. Your thoughts, Bill?
Well, one of my biggest pet peeves is anyone touching my titties. Okay? So... this asshole wouldn't have been coming off on a wheelchair. He would have been in a bag. And I'm not one of these that just, all bark, no bite. I bite. And you don't touch my titties. Okay? No, I'm 6'7", and anytime I'm on a plane, which thank goodness I don't have to do commercial anymore, but I will... of course I have to adjust the seat. I'm 6'7", man. And any time I'm real cautious of who's behind me, and I will turn around a lot of times and either make eye contact with them or just say, "Is this okay?"
Yeah.
And they'll give me the affirmative or whatever. But holy hell, man, holy hell! With chicks before, I've been in bed before, pre-coitus. I had one who decided that she thought it was a good idea to pinch my nipple, and it took everything I have. Now, I'm very nonviolent, dude, especially toward women. I've never touched a woman, never will, but she almost got elbowed. I almost took the bridge of that nose. But I fought through it like a trooper. I got through it.
Yeah.
And she was never invited back. No. Now, there was another one post-coitus who was laying there, and she wanted to do the let's cuddle thing, which, oh, hell, man. And I don't mean to sound like an animal, but post PC, I call it. Get the hell away from me. Go clean yourself or something or whatever. Get away from me. But she decided,
Go clean yourself.
but this broad, she was in the middle. She.
Go clean yourself.
This chick, she's in the middle of asking for something or telling me about one of her fucking family members or animals or something. And her hand, the back of her hand, brushed up against my titty. And the next words, dude, because all I was seeing, now this was PC, okay? Right after she did it, the only words that I could conjure were, gotta go now.
Yeah.
Which she did. Wow. And didn't see that one. We won't be seeing her anymore.
I did not realize you were so sensitive.
Well, see, the thing about it is, as I was growing up, I always carried some extra weight. I wasn't always like super obese or anything, but I always carried some extra weight. So ever since I was 16, I actually lifted weights very, very hard. Yeah. And I developed these things called pectorals, pecs. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know what the hell they are, especially the ones that like to point out the fact that yours are sticking out like a woman's, okay? And I've been touchy about it ever since. I don't have gynomass or anything like that. It's just my pecs have been bigger.
Sure.
And when you're a teenager especially, and people like to point that out, it gets under your skin and bothers you. And I do remember one time in particular, I went to hang out. It was with you and with someone else. We went to a local bar, and they just happened to have a wet T-shirt contest.
Whoops.
Uh-huh. And so as we're walking out, there was someone walking in who I know who he is now, so we can say we knew him mutually. Yeah. But he was a skinny guy, never had to worry about the pectoral thing, probably has never walked into a gym before. And he asked the other person who was with us, he said, well, who won? And the guy turned around, he pointed to the girl who had won, and he goes, oh, yeah. So then he points at me, at my chest, and he goes, well, those are the ones that should have won right there. And all I remember is starting to go toward him, and I felt you and the person that was with us pulling on my shirt, saying, come on, let's go. Because this person worked for an agency that we didn't want to push the issue. Yeah. But I do know that his shiny Yamaha VMAX ended up into 3 parts that night, but I had nothing to do with that. No. But somebody that's sitting within about 3 feet of me right now may have. No. But
I don't know. So did we do emails yet?
Yeah, we did.
Ooh, it's getting hot in here. Ooh. All right. Note to self-call attorney. First aid. No. Yeah, that is good. I know you're sensitive about things.
Oh, I hate seatbelts. I've called every seatbelt in the world a name. Just when it brushes up, I want it to hug me, man, and it just brushes up against, especially when I'm in a little bit of a mood, and brushes up against the nip, and I am ready to. Oh, just in a whatever. Somebody did something. Somebody unfollowed me, or somebody did something. Failed to retweet. And I'm ready to fight the world, man.
My favorite Bill G story is when
your favorite one.
Several years ago, we went to the zoo, And do you remember this? Because you don't like, among the many things that you hate, beaches.
Oh, sand. No, I can't do sand.
He does not.
No, I don't need to be in the sunlight. The heat, sand. Nope. And to have, how can you put oil on you also and roll around and get sand on you?
I've never seen your feet.
And you never will.
In my life, never. Now, I hate feet, so I appreciate that about you.
You're welcome.
But, yeah, I've never seen them by accident or anything.
Right.
And, let's see, you hate beaches. You hate the sun in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a vampire, basically. And we went to, you did not want to go. I remember. I talked you into going to the zoo.
We've gone a couple times. I'm trying to remember which time this was, when it was.
Well, you said, I thought you would remember because when we got home, you said it was like being on the surface of the sun.
Oh, is this the one where I got, the sun brutalized me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my favorite story. We went to the zoo, spent the entire day in the sun.
Let me explain this, though. We had a very long night the night before. Watched the sun come up after a couple of cases.
Yeah.
And, I was feeling pretty ill that day, and we took off early and headed there. Yeah, but I remember that. Super hot, sunny, just miserable damn day.
The vapors were coming off all of us.
Yeah, yeah.
But I remember you. I don't remember what you wore that day because this story doesn't have a lot to do with that day other than we were at the zoo. It was hot. The sun was blazing. You were miserable.
Uh-huh.
So the next evening, you came over because apparently we slept it off and decided to do it again.
Right. Yeah. That's when we could. Then, yeah.
You had showed up at my house a little bit early. You were in the driveway when I pulled in with all the adult beverages.
Right.
And speaking of beverages, we haven't mentioned Pepsi Max. Pepsi Max goes down smooth. 0 calorie cola, maximum taste. Pepsi Max. But that's not what we were drinking.
No.
Ever. I don't think it was around then, was it?
No.
Nope.
No, it didn't exist.
So you were in my driveway waiting for me, and I pull into the driveway, and you walk up to the driver's side of the car just to say hi and to ask me if I needed any help getting things out. And we got into a conversation about something, and my eye was drawn to something on your shoulder. And I was talking to you, and I kept looking at you. You're like, what? I said, Bill, pull your shirt away from your neck just a little bit.
Yeah.
And you did. And there was a flipping snow globe.
Yep, I remember.
Of skin on your skin. And I could see, I was watching, because the sun was like behind you.
Yeah.
I was watching the liquid inside of this pus-filled blister.
That's
the biggest thing biggest blister I've ever seen in my life.
I didn't even know it was there until you said something, and I pulled my shirt, my collar away.
It was unbelievable.
And I went up and looked in the mirror, and that's what it was. It stood up about 3 inches or so.
It did.
And
it was the size of your fist. I've said it was easily the size of your fist.
Yeah.
And half of it was halfway filled with clear liquid.
Liquid, yeah.
And I was watching that liquid slosh around as you were talking.
Did you get that, ladies? It's full of liquid, pussy stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, and it sloshed. I remember when I was standing in the mirror, I was going back and forth with my shoulders so it could slosh around.
Yeah.
But I was just ate up. And I remember, because I wear oversized T-shirts,
moo-moos.
I wear oversized T-shirts, so the collar was apparently that day, out further than it needed to be. But it tore me up, man. It was really bad, and then I started to blister even more and more and more. But
it was unreal.
I remember.
Yep,
that's why I do the zoo. Not the biggest fan of certain zoos for different reasons, but I go to the zoo now during the winter because, a lot of people don't like to go. It's cold, but whatever. Yeah. That's what you're going to do when you live in Ohio. But it's best to go during the winter because you get to go inside with the animals. I mean, the going gorillas and everything else are just on the other side of the glass.
Yeah.
And that's when you really get to appreciate the size of everything. Like when you have a rhino or a elephant walk past you just on the other side of the glass.
Right.
And it's like, oh, okay, now I see what they're talking about.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't do it, man. I don't go to the amusement parks during summer, nothing like that. Because it still tears me up. But I remember that, and I hurt for probably over a week.
Yeah.
But, oh my gosh, I remember that blister. That's the worst one I've ever had.
That was incredible. That's my favorite.
Funny.
That's not the funniest thing you've ever done, and that's not the funniest thing I've ever seen
Yeah.
that had anything to do with you. But that's just my favorite story because the look on your face after I said, "What is that on your neck?" You were like, because you must have thought I was talking about a spider or something. You're like, "What?" I said,
Yeah.
"Pull your shirt away a little bit," and then that huge thing. Right. It was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Well, believe it or not, we're at an hour, so we're going to have to close this thing up.
Wow.
If there's nothing else you needed to talk about or wanted to talk about, anything else you wanted to bring up?
No, sir. Nothing at all. You can catch me. I don't do Facebook anymore. But you can catch me on Twitter at 1BillG. It's at the number 1 Bill G.
You can't mess that up.
Nope.
Don't even try it.
Nope.
I'm not going to pretend to be Cory and all that. We're available on Stitcher, SoundCloud, iTunes. I don't know. I really, truly don't know what else. YouTube. Bunch of other places. If you want to hear us, you can hear us. And we really hope you do want to hear us. And we do have a few T-shirts left. I'm not exactly sure what sizes, but we have some left. If you like to wear a nice, cool summer T-shirt, I think they're all the same color. They're like, I don't know what are they, like a grayish, brownish something.
I'm not getting any of them.
Yeah.
They're not going to fit me. I know that.
But it's a B-Team T-shirt. If you want to take a look at those, go to point19productions.com. Get on the website. Get up there, click the buy a T-shirt button or whatever it is that's on there.
Buy something from us, please.
Get you one of those. Yeah, buy something, please button that we need up there. And all I ask you to do is love somebody.